And so it is to the printing press, to the recorder of man's deeds, the keeper of his conscience, the courier of his news, that we look for strength and assistance. Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive.
All right, welcome to the Patriot Hour for Thursday, November 14th, 2019. Welcome all the Patriots here to the room as you're coming in. Some of you are straggling in. We got a great show lined up today. Yesterday's impeachment hearings were, like we said, it's going to be a little circus. They were holding these things in the basement of the White House or whatnot, and here's the result. A carefully contrived, crafted show that they prepared. They went through interviews. They basically rehearsed how they were going to do things. So we're going to see that over the next couple weeks. I'm going to show a little clip. It's important for today's show. Pay attention if you didn't already see it. But again, it's just a refresher. I'm not going to show the whole thing, but we're going to show the opening, Devin Nunes. It's something that needs to be heard by every American if they're willing to listen to it. But we're going to play it here, and then we'll get into the show. We got Ben, we got Woodman with us. It's going to be a great show, so stick around and check this out here. Give me 1 second.
Best way to predict the future is to create it yourself. When President Obama became President of the United States, he elevated science to a higher place in our national priorities. It is science, 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 and science. Breaking our crippling addiction to oil.
I now recognize Ranking Member Nunes for any remarks he may wish to make.
Thanks, gentlemen. In a July open hearing of this committee following publication of the Mueller report, the Democrats engaged in a last-ditch effort to convince the American people that President Trump is a Russian agent. That hearing was the pivotal finale of a 3-year-long operation by the Democrats, the corrupt media, and partisan bureaucrats to overturn the results of the 2016 election. After the spectacular implosion of their Russia hoax on July 24th, in which they spent years denouncing any Republican who ever shook hands with a Russian, on July 25th, they turned on a dime and now claim the real malfeasance is Republicans' dealings with Ukraine. In the blink of an eye, we're asked to simply forget about Democrats on this committee, falsely claiming they had more than circumstantial evidence of collusion between President Trump and Russians. We should forget about them reading fabrications of Trump-Russia collusion from the Steele dossier into the congressional record. We should also forget about them trying to obtain nude pictures of Trump from Russian pranksters who pretended to be Ukrainian officials. We should forget about them leaking a false story to CNN while he was still testifying to our committee, claiming that Donald Trump Jr. was colluding with WikiLeaks. And forget about countless other deceptions, large and small, that make them the last people on earth with the credibility to hurl more preposterous accusations at their political opponents. And yet now, here we are. We're supposed to take these people at face value when they trot out a new batch of allegations. But anyone familiar with the Democrats' scorched earth war against President Trump would not be surprised to see all the typical signs that this is a carefully orchestrated media smear campaign. For example, After vowing publicly that impeachment requires bipartisan support, Democrats are pushing impeachment forward without the backing of a single Republican. The witnesses deemed suitable for television by the Democrats were put through a closed-door audition process in a cult-like atmosphere in the basement of the Capitol, where Democrats conducted secret depositions, released a flood of misleading and one-sided leaks, and later selectively released transcripts in a highly staged manner. Violating their own guidelines, Democrats repeatedly redacted from the transcripts the name of Alexander Chalupa, a contractor for the Democratic National Committee who worked with Ukrainian officials to collect dirt on the Trump campaign, which she provided to the DNC and the Hillary Clinton campaign. The Democrats rejected most of the Republicans' witness requests, resulting in a horrifically one-sided process where the crucial witnesses are denied a platform if their testimony does not support the Democrats' absurd accusations. Notably, they are trying to impeach the president for inquiring about Hunter Biden's activities. Yet they refuse our request to hear from Biden himself. The whistleblower was acknowledged to have a bias against President Trump, and his attorney touted a coup against the president and called for his impeachment just weeks after the election. At a prior hearing, Democrats on this committee read out a purely fictitious rendition of the president's phone call with President Zelensky. They clearly found the real conversation to be insufficient for their impeachment narrative, so they just made up a new one. And most egregiously, the staff of the Democrats on this committee had direct discussions with the whistleblower before his or her complaint was submitted to the Inspector General. Republicans can't get a full account of these contacts because Democrats broke their promise to have the whistleblower testify to this committee. Democrat members hid these contacts from Republicans and then lied about them to the American people on national television. I've noted before, the Democrats have a long habit of accusing Republicans of offenses they themselves are committing. Let's recall, for years they accused the Trump campaign of colluding with Russia when they themselves were colluding with Russia by funding and spreading the Steele dossier, which relied on Russian sources. And now they accuse President Trump of malfeasance in Ukraine when they themselves are culpable. The Democrats cooperated in Ukrainian election meddling, and they defend Hunter Biden's securing of a lavishly paid position with a corrupt Ukrainian company, all while his father served as vice president. Despite this hypocrisy, the Democrats are advancing their impeachment sham. But we should not hold any hearings at all until we get answers to three crucial questions the Democrats are determined to avoid asking. First, what is the full extent of the Democrats' prior coordination with the whistleblower? And who else did the whistleblower coordinate this effort with? Second, what is the full extent of Ukraine's election meddling against the Trump campaign? And third, why did Burisma hire Hunter Biden, and what did he do for them? And did his position affect any U.S. government actions under the Obama administration? These questions will remain outstanding because Republicans were denied the right to call witnesses that know these answers. What we will witness today is a televised theatrical performance staged by the Democrats. Ambassador Taylor and Mr. Kent, I'd like to welcome you here. I'd like to congratulate you for passing the Democrat Star Chamber auditions held for the last weeks in the basement of the Capitol. It seems you agreed, witting or unwittingly, to participate in a drama. But the main performance, the Russia hoax, has ended, and you've been cast in the low-rent Ukrainian sequel. I'll conclude by noting the immense damage the politicized bureaucracy has done to Americans' faith in government. Though executive branch employees are charged with implementing the policies set by our president, who is elected and responsible to the American people, elements of the civil service have decided that they not the president, are really in charge. Thus, as we'll learn in these hearings, after expressing skepticism of foreign aid and concern about foreign corruption on the campaign trail, President Trump outraged the bureaucracy by acting skeptically about foreign aid and expressing concerns about foreign corruption. Officials' alarm at the president's actions was typically based on second-hand, third-hand, and even fourth-hand rumors and innuendo. They believed it was an outrage for the president to fire an ambassador, even though the president has full authority to retain or remove diplomats for any reason at any time. Officials showed the surprising lack of interest in the indications of Ukrainian election meddling that deeply concerned the president, at whose pleasure they serve. Despite all their dissatisfaction with President Trump's Ukraine policy, the president approved the supply of weapons to Ukraine, unlike the previous administration, which provided blankets as defense against invading Russians. By undermining the president, who they are supposed to be serving, the elements of the FBI, the Department of Justice, and now the State Department have lost the confidence of millions of Americans who believe that their vote should count for something. It will take years, if not decades, to restore faith in these institutions. This spectacle is doing great damage to our country. It's nothing more than an impeachment process in search of a crime. That I yield back.
Aides held up on
Fourth-hand innuendo.
Are just as good as hardcore evidence. I like hearsay.
Crazy, man, crazy.
A little heresy.
Little heresy.
Crazy.
Back in the day, I say heresy, not some heresy.
Like heresy. What's going on, brothers? Good to see you guys. What a great
everybody airborne all the way. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon.
It's all rumped
Great
in.
to see, great to see you, Ben.
We got
see
Simone,
you as well, you guys getting together.
Randy Robbins, Simone, Grillin, the Woodman. I'm just going over the wrenches. Legacy, Truce, Simone. Patriot Hours here. Damn. What's going on, guys? All right, so that was yesterday. Did you guys get a chance to catch it? I know Woodman, you saw some of it. I know we were talking.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff, folks. No real evidence. I guess the very first witness, or the two guys there yesterday, we saw that Jim Jordan also chewed him up. He was like, "You're supposed to be their star witness." I don't consider myself a star. He's like, "Well, they do."
Oh man, he did. He ripped him right up, man.
Well, the media was referring to these two guys over the last few days before they were there, that they were going to have bombshell testimony about in-depth stuff about Trump's phone call that would lead to this quid pro Joe, or but it didn't. The guy sat there and Jim Jordan broke it down, saying it was all about a phone call. So on a phone call, you heard from this guy that went to this guy, and he did it real well 3 times. And it was basically, he goes, "There's 4 people named in that sentence there that for your connection." And he goes, "I know." He goes, "And this is it. This is a fourth-hand phone call stuff."
Hearsay is all you got, and you're the star witness. And it's almost like I'm scratching my head over here thinking, this is what they got. This is what this is like. When you open up, this is they're putting your best foot forward here. They're trying to do this sham of an impeachment process, and this is their starting play.
Yes, this is their opening move. It's almost like that this sets forth the motion.
Break a leg on the show, but guy already broke it. Coming out.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, it looks like they don't have much.
They got it going on. They got it going on, I'll tell you, man. They're like right on it. Wrong answer. Well, look, they just ruined 2020 right there. They just ruined it right there. They ruined it.
I thought it was interesting in the part of that video where he was describing closed door auditions and almost like a cultic ritualistic grooming of these people, and then
hanging out in the
found
basement.
who they liked.
Their moms were
the
bringing
basement.
them
Bunch of
hot
basement
pockets. Not now, Ma. Not now.
Not now. I'm
I
trying
mean,
to
with all
subvert
the
my government,
basement
Ma.
jokes going on, basement dwelling conspiracy theorists, they got
Yes.
nothing.
Oh, yeah.
So this is kind of appropriate that they dug it to the basement, and we can only
I like the
dream.
little jab.
Well, it
So,
took a long time to train those guys. You know, it's going to be like, okay, listen, I'm going to ask this question, and you're going to answer it this way, and then I'm going to ask this question, and to each one of them, look, it takes a while to train them all. Took them over a month.
Yes.
Hollywood, popcorn ready, boys and girls. It's a happening. Unbelievable.
So on another note, real quick, I did a video, and I haven't really addressed it, but like 4 or 5 days ago, maybe 4 days ago, and it was a really funny one. Actually, I was reading it on or looking at it over the phone. I think I was on Garage Talk with Ben, and it was this whole Gitmo and people staying on the floors. It was overcrowded. I found it to be very, very amusing, and just I knew it would make a great little video if I can get. You know, a story is a story, but then you can get some memes behind it and show things. But there has been some comments left, or people even on newer videos like, oh, what's going on with that? I want to know. Why would you do that? You know, and it's like, hey, we go over enough here, and I say it. Don't ever take what I say to be truth. Do your own research. Now, if you hear something that I say, for that video, I mean, maybe I should have said it in the beginning, but it was a story, and I found it highly amusing, and I thought it came across that way. So most of you just, I'm pretty sure, took it that way. Others of you that are stuck on that, I would say this.
Most.
I would say, just like on CNN or MSNBC, don't take everything I say to be 100%. Always do your research. And, you know, I didn't do it like to be shoving it down your throat. It was true. You can do the research. If you can't find out anything in there to be valuable, I'm not wasting anyone's time, but I like to have fun, and I took that to be a great story, even if a little bit imaginary. Why not? I mean, that's what I would want to be happening, possibly in that situation. But if you looked at the article, the one guy that was Carrie's roommate was the one actor. They were talking about, I don't even know his name, but it was a Hollywood guy. I think he's an anti-Trump person on Twitter all the time or something. But it was just a Hollywood guy, and and it was his roommate, and they were fighting in fistcuffs. I mean, it was hilarious. So I have fun once in a while, and I'll be more clear for sure in the future. If I'm going to definitely say this is like an opinion piece or something, I should. I mean, I don't, folks. I'm new at this whole thing. It's not any kind of job. I'll say that right here, right now. It's not a job. It's a hobby, and I want to. I've only gotten better. I don't consider myself to be a journalist. I didn't go to school for that, so I don't know all the rules of the game. But if I get there, yeah, and of course I'm about truth. I know reading that there could be a little bit of truth in there, but a lot of it had to have been obviously just fun. 100% fun.
You know it.
Gitmo's crowded. They're sleeping on the floors in the canteen. Carrie had a pet rat. I mean, that's some hilarious stuff. Come on now.
I mean, we've seen that in Hollywood movies. I mean,
what movies that remind me of? What movie was that?
Oh, it's
Shawshank. Yeah, that's Shawshank. Dude had a bird, and then even in Alcatraz, the dude had a mouse or a bird. Was it a bird or a mouse?
I don't know. I
think it was a mouse too. I think it's always a mice.
Yeah, I think
it's a common thing.
In prison.
On the Green Mile, they had a mouse on that.
Yeah, see, that I was saying, all movies, there's always somebody that's a little nuts.
Is that a little something?
It's the first person to go nuts is going to get the pet mouse and name it and talk to it.
That's the symbology.
That's
I've been
it.
looking for that for years. All right.
Well, no, I mean,
let's all be honest here. I mean, a lot of you guys come out and you watch what Mike does, Woodman, myself, and the stuff that's put out here is because you want our opinion on this stuff, because we have, everybody has their own way of viewing things, and some people like the way we view things. And
Yes.
so that's an awesome part of it.
People beg for the decodes with like the Q, and for a long time I just read them, and I used to get, why are you just reading them? Anyone could read them. But yet I think it was valuable for people that were driving on their way to work, at work. You got to focus on your job, but you have maybe earbud in and you could hear. So I'd read them. It kept you up to date. It let your mind, you're supposed to decode them yourself. That's, it's tough. The news doesn't do that. They portray the stories and then they give you all the information with the pictures. So it's very powerful to bomb went off in Russia. 28 people died. Kuwait did it. Maybe that last thing was a lie. Kuwait. It's like, you got to look into it, and then you can find, like I said the other day, that 1% or 2% of truth. If you can find that, then you blow their whole 98% of lie out the water, and you shouldn't believe anything moving forward. Like we talk about the whole start of this Russia thing was the government coming out and say that the Russians hacked the DNC from Russia. They, and that's all they say. Well, then that got broken down with the stringer code. Anytime you move a file around, whether it's to a thumb drive, to a hard drive, or if you download it through a network via internet or within the network somewhere in the building, there's going to be a receipt put with that transfer, and it's a stringer code. And in that stringer code, Ben knows this, that you can find the transfer rate. That can totally tell you whether it was done like in person, somebody at the machine, or if it was downloaded, because they told us it was like at a 49.9 megabyte speed, but the highest you can get at the time from Russia known to the US was like a 25. So how did that file? That's
there's
double
a
the
reason
speed.
why they always say the devil is in the details, because most people will just glance over that story. I'm like, oh, that's Russia. Oh my gosh, they were hacking. And, most people don't also realize that all internet that we know of is just a bunch of wires connected either under the oceans, connecting continent to continent. And so, just like when you mail a letter from, your front doorstep to your buddies, a state away, that's going to go a couple of days. But if you're going to mail a letter to Europe, that may take a week or so. You understand that concept, and digitally, what Mike was explaining is the same thing, and it's like data forensics. This is nothing new, and so they can portray this great idea of what this was, and the whole Ruski red, look out for the red Ruski. You know the commie, are you? Bring that whole idea back and say, oh, it was the Russians, they did it, which they've been our whipping boy for 50 years. And most people don't understand how this works, and then you break down like that to the people, then you see that the lie, the deception. So there's what you see, the deceiving one, and they're sitting right in the details. There's no way logically thinking that this could happen.
And like you said, to take that story a little more on as far as them disclaiming Russia, right, Ben? Like, oh, Russia did it. And then they move forward with all this great detail that they bring you in on. I mean, they have to. That's a story, the storyline. Mm-hmm. But that very first nugget to get you to even go along and listen, sit down, sit back, take it all in, is the lie. And they need to explain that a little more. Yeah. So as far as just saying Russia did it, they hacked the DNC. Okay, so if we know that it couldn't have been done by Russia from the country of Russia, that means, the transfer rate would tell people that know this a little more that it could have been done on a network, but within the United States. Well, now at that point, how do you know it was Russia? Or if it was done remotely.
Joe Bob from his server in his basement somewhere in America.
I mean, so we don't know that it was Russia, and if the speed's determined to tell us that it didn't happen from that far away, then we got to keep asking the question. And well, don't worry about that detail. Let's just keep moving on. No, I can't. Me personally, I can't listen to anything more until I understand that. So, and that's the very beginning.
Wasn't the DNC screaming a few years ago that their servers got hacked by China? China hacked our servers, and they were screaming when they were playing victimhood again. And the reality is in the cyber world and the I think to the cloud, every country tries to penetrate every other country's network. So hypothetically or technically speaking, yeah, every country, including the Netherlands and Finland, is trying to hack my computer. Why? Well, because there's people in there. And it's the whole entire country, and it's their secret service hacking my machine. No, it's just little viruses. And so, yeah, they blow up these crazy stories. I mean, you still can't get over how many times we know for a fact that they've groomed these people because not of what we've heard, but what we've seen from their behavior. That behavior we know after a while, because we're not all dumb. We know when somebody's lying and they look this way and that way. They're trying to formulate an opinion, or they repeat the question.
The comment is looking up and left.
I mean,
when people go, it was last
they're
Thursday.
Trying to feed us.
You know,
yes, it's crazy. So that's just why, like, we love looking at this kind of stuff, and it is entertaining. When you see Zuckerberg acting like a robot and he's the head of the IT thing, it's like it's hilarious,
Yeah. Well, and if you look close, and this is the other point of this. This is just one. What we're talking about, which is huge. It's going to go down huge. Mm-hmm. But if you look, like that whole very early on, they try to get that cover up starts there, and then everything else is orchestrated lie, and that'll keep your head spinning. But you can almost do this on every conspiracy theory, you call it, situation where there's something, we've investigated so many things, and there's always that one, like you said, the devil's in the details, and it's just something that don't add up, and it's always in the official paperwork that, like this is Russia hacked the DNC. Then they never even got the server. They allowed that third party to do it because that's what the company it's just nuts. So I don't know, but this bombshell, the pages coming out, the FISA release, I highly am believing at this point. I'm with Trump and everything he's been saying, and those kind of around him, the ones that are on board as well. It's like there's certain people are paying attention and are definitely not just wonderstruck and going against it, because that's what seems to be the flavor with anyone that's anti-Trump, is either they're that out of tune or there's a reason. A lot of the people we see on TV, there's a reason. They know too, and they're just trying to save their party. They're hoping this impeachment thing goes, get him out of there, and then it's cleanup time. Back under the rug with everything, dust off your shoulders, and get back to destroying the world.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. They're sure trying, man. Sure trying.
What do you think, Woodman? What did you see yesterday on the...
Oh, good Lord, man. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. The difference.
Pick a card,
between what the
Woodman. Pick a
Democrats...
card. Any card.
Oh Lord.
Oh, this one? This
Jordan.
one?
Yeah. Jordan Nunes. I don't know. You pick it. It was terrible. Why would they even... We pay these people to act like an idiot. Yeah. Oh boy, I really can't believe it. I mean, we're watching this on television. Don't they realize just how ignorant they look? I mean, you can't pull the wool over everybody's eyeballs. Get real, man. And we pay them to waste this time. 3 years, and they're not even done yet. Not even done yet. Boy, that's lost 2020, man.
I was even saying it was more than 3 years, because they've been.
Well,
pitching.
yeah, but I mean, he's been in office for 3 years.
Yeah.
Either way, it's a losing battle, and then they continue on. They just continue on. Keep your popcorn ready, everybody. I ain't kidding. This game is not over yet. The show has just begun, and we're finding stuff out. It's coming out, man.
Low rat.
Look what the Democrats done for over a month. Sat down there and, good old Adam Schiff with his eyeballs popped out of his head, down there saying, okay, talking to one person. I'm going to ask you this question, and I want you to answer it this way. Then I'm going to ask you this question. Well, it took over a month because you had to go over everybody, train them. if you think about it, they all were reading some kind of a transcript. I hope people woke up and seen that. I just really, truly do.
Well, I think this
can't
next
believe
one
I
coming
can't-
up tomorrow should be an interesting one as well, Woodman. I mean, Mike and I were talking as well in Garage Talk about what they're doing. This impeachment, now it's official. It's one thing for them to be kind of stirring, and there's rumors, and I heard it through the grapevine that this may be happening, and Pelosi was saying some stuff, and they're going around. But now it's actually official. And in the way of now all three branches of government are getting involved, and they're now subpoenaing people. And this is no joke. This is not like the last time that like Zuckerberg and other people freely came in front of Congress and was giving statements of their own free volition. Whereas now people are being subpoenaed, and it's being held under court record under the auspices or under the case of impeachment of our current sitting president. And what we're going to probably be seeing here very soon, starting tomorrow as well, is they've been planning. This is their Super Bowl. They have been planning all this time for this exact. They've been culminating. Everything they've been doing has been working towards impeachment. The Strzok and Page, the lovers. This will not stand. We see all the emails. What Q's been telling us, Trump's been saying it's a witch hunt. So everything they've been planning has been coming up for this game plan right here, impeachment. And it now just officially started yesterday. And so I think that we're going to see not only as patriots, but like at the Q community and a lot of you guys, of course, getting ready for the Patriot Festival coming up here in 2020. We're going to see stuff really sort of pop off, because now this is supposed to be like the culmination of everything. It's happening. It is now. It's not no more talk about it.
Well, I would also like to add that they have Trump and team. They have exhausted all of the, it's either down to these last couple investigators coming out to stop the coup. I don't know how much, I could take this to be this impeachment stuff. I mean, is anything else going to come out of it? They're not even letting the people that the Republican side wants to bring up that would be great, like Biden. Nah, we don't need to hear from him, when that's a bigger part of the picture. So they're steering that ship to keep it on the phone call when we know all the meat of it's before that. I mean, it's interesting.
We also talked about closed sessions, which means that we won't be able to hear some of this stuff. Like, we'll have to get into. That's what happened back in the '60s when they were questioning the CIA for getting into media. And like, well, this is the kind of question that's for executive closed, meeting. And so a lot of this stuff is just going to happen, just like most impeachments will. Is we'll never get to hear the meat and potatoes. We only get to see and hear the sides going on,
or possibly the result.
The result, exactly.
I mean, Trump said it good. Is like Adam Schiff went into the halls of Congress and made up a complete speech that I didn't say. They had this idea from the whistleblowers or the orchestrated whistleblowers, and I'm still not convinced that there is a real one. I know a lot of people have named one they think it is, and probably just by the description that they gave and all this, they're saying that Schiff might have made it up, and that could be very true. That they just
that's very plausible.
A bunch of sour puss, disgruntled, intelligence people that wanted Trump gone. I mean, these two guys they had there yesterday, they said that Trump's policy overrode what they normally do, that things are supposed to be taken to them, and they were mad that Trump didn't do it, that he's, cut slim and fat and just doing things that he thinks is best, because nothing gets done when you hand it to these people. They've been there. They're holdovers, and that's why they're even part of this, that they didn't get to do their job to direct a narrative to make things work the way that it needed to be set up like it was in the past. I don't know. Trump did something different. So there's the issue.
Yeah.
So on that note, maybe this has been a big trap. That's only another good that they have gotten all these people on record. They've gotten, like you said, Zuckerberg, all these people to come beyond the record. It's like, well, they didn't swear in. You know what? Coming and sitting in front of Congress
It's still on record.
It's on record. It's better than being on, ET Tonight, Entertainment Tonight or something, and then, or Howard Stern, which is, it's kind of like the setting. This is kind of official. I never had to swear in, so therefore you lied to all the members that were asking you stuff, and then therefore the American people. Yeah, I wasn't sworn in. Okay, so we know how you roll. But still, it's like you bring them all around. You do all this stuff that we've been having. There's been people multiple times coming in, the people that are part of Congress, and then you get this impeachment thing. Did Schiff just lie the other day, opening, I don't know the whistleblower. I mean, that came out, and everyone's like, whoa, you're the only one that this person came to, well, my office. And you're going to tell us that you haven't asked your, nope, I've separated myself from all my office staff. They are fully dealing with this guy. Are they allowed to? Are office staff people allowed to conduct? I don't know. So I don't know all the rules, but it's something to keep in mind. Trump has gotten all these people on the record over the last year and a half, and maybe now you pull them all back in, and it's under the proper way, and then you can see what they say. Yeah, because we all know. We know the memorandum rights. You don't have to be arrested to know that anything you can and will be held against you in a court of law. You don't have to be arrested when you go stand in front of Congress. You're not so much sworn in, but you are denoted that it's being recorded. So anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law if there thus determines. I mean, so it's a way of getting these people in there without a way of having them swear in like it's like an evidentiary trial, and this guy's going to give his expert opinion, and he's a witness. No, we have you here this time. You spoke in front of Congress, and I'm here to tell you today. Right. I'm here to tell you what people have said. Okay.
And what I've heard from other people. Well, who are these people?
I'm here to tell you what I've heard. But the people you hear from heard it from somebody else, so you're already 3 degrees separated, right? Yeah, that's about right. And then that one guy came out. That one guy came out and said that is the best kind of evidence. Did you not hear that one? Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh.
From other people is much more of a stronger, compelling argument than physical evidence itself.
It's a real strong hold.
Oh my God.
Yeah, buddy.
I'll play
That's terrible.
Listen to this, guys.
Wizardry.
Because I just posted this right before we went live, so some of you out there have seen it, some of you haven't, but here's just this first part.
Get you.
Hearsay can be much better evidence than direct, as we have learned in painful instances, and it's certainly valid in this instance.
Well, gentlemen, yield, because none of those exceptions would apply to this testimony.
This is not the time for colloquy.
Hearsay can be much better evidence than direct, as we have learned in painful instances, and it's certainly valid in this instance.
Well, gentlemen.
There are 2 new Q drops. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah. we don't bear false witness here, people. You understand that we don't lie to you. Hearsay can be much better evidence than direct. That's wizardry. That's a little tiny wizard speaking spells to you, trying to tell you that.
See, folks, they are rewriting the English language these last few years because nothing adds up for them. It's just like Trump offered or threatened the Ukraine government to not give aid unless they did something. And that's what we all would have took it to be like, oh my gosh. And then Trump really quickly released the transcript and it's not in there. And then they're like, well, he didn't have to say, it don't matter if he said it or not. But no, that's what they ramped up on. And then he called them on their bluff and showed the hand. And now it's to a fact of, it's like, like I was telling Ben, we talked about this last night or something, Garage Talk. It was, me and Ben, are on the phone, or let's put it this way: there's a murder trial, and the only star witness to the whole thing and everything's residing on somebody that didn't see it happen but overheard it. There's no evidence. I mean, you're not going to prosecute on somebody anytime on that kind of trial. But the other thing is they're trying to get into the head of the 2 people. There's 2 people that were on the phone, Trump and then the Ukrainian. They both admit there was nothing ever said. They never felt a certain way. But the third party, somebody that didn't even witness it, really far away says, I think there was something wrong there. And you were a victim. And like, no, I wasn't. I have no feelings of that. Yeah, I think you do. And we're going to go ahead and go with that.
Something bad to you. I didn't say anything bad. Did you think he was bad? No. I feel that you got wronged and he wronged you. That's how I feel.
Yeah, that's almost equivalent of two people having consensual sex and a third person looking through the window and thinking it was something else. And even the women's like, no, I laid down with my husband. I don't know if you really wanted that. It's like I did. I liked it and I enjoyed it. I'm going to go file charges for you down at the police station.
I'll file on your behalf.
Come on, folks.
Yeah. I'll make the complaint. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go around and just start, accusing. I mean, that would be wild to do.
All you guys of being victims. You're all victims. Oh,
you're all victim of something.
Crazy. Ridiculousness, man. Oh boy.
I can't wait till 2020 to watch them melt. EO2 Dave, I agree.
Hey,
brother.
we ought to make a little calendar up and see when Schiff's eyes are going to actually blow out of his head. It's got to happen pretty soon.
Little board, little
He's on that
iPod board.
He's on that deep state meth. He's on that deep state meth, and
I mean, they're only this big around, man. I mean, and that gut feel guy, his guy portrays shit pretty good, man. Eyeballs are wide open. That's just. Sorry, I'm sorry. I just love it.
Fine, brother.
He's an idiot, man. Yeah, he's a poster child, man.
Fourth hand innuendo.
We pay him.
Fourth hand innuendo.
Yeah,
I like that.
Well, that's what I heard from Ben, that heard it from you, that heard it from Scott, that heard it from some Cub Scout down the road a little bit, overheard some other guy talking on the store. Yeah.
Heard it from my friend.
Unbelievable. They run our country, people. They run our country. Give me a break. It's time for replacement.
Yes.
Yeah. Hit the door, man. Hit the door. Get out of here. We don't want you. No more.
Well, we'll definitely be looking. I'll be watching tomorrow. Through through some of the impeachment process. I always enjoy, which is kind of funny, the highlight reels that a lot of creators and a lot of you guys out there on YouTube create. Like there's a few impeachment highlight reels that were, like you were saying, they say some just off the wall stuff that makes no logical sense, but it's funny. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, because it's really a circus show. At least with Clinton, there was some wrongdoing that we all could look at and say morally, I did not have sexual relations, and he thinks relations is dating and flowers.
You didn't ask him right. How dare you?
You didn't ask him right. They
asked him three different
wizardry.
ways. They asked Bill Clinton three different kind of styles. He said they needed to ask me this fourth way that they didn't. And Ashley was like, man, these people are lawyers.
We're all over that. Yes, they're all wizardry, spellcasters, and it's like now they're going over something that's truly, like, it's really not logical what they're really pitching, and it's even more of a farce than last one we had, the little circus, the dog and pony show that they call impeachment process, because it's like this should be so transparent to the public, because what they're trying to do is literally stop and subvert and stop our government during its process of trying to run the country, if you will. I mean, to impeach a sitting president is no small task. The time before that, before Clinton, and the time before that, we're talking, it took war and people had to die by the thousands, by the hundreds of thousands before they thought, no, stop doing this. We're not warmongering. And it's crazy to think that this is what we're going to impeachment process over. And this is becoming more and more current in our political society, that if they don't like each other, hit them with the old impeachment process, which it's like, then what? Then if he goes out, then who does it go to? It's just like everything we've been working so hard for. So it's
Well, what gets me is that their ammunition is what Biden did. They're trying to pin it on Trump. That's their ammunition. Biden done it openly. He bragged about it. I mean, he bragged about it.
And there was and they actually withheld money. They withheld the money.
Yeah.
That's proof too. And Obama didn't send guns when that's what they were requesting. They sent blankets.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's
hockey,
facts.
You know what
That's
I mean?
facts. But don't look at the facts. Look at what we tell you. And that's
don't do as I do. Do what I say. Yeah, you know it, man.
It's
alrighty.
It's a pretty scary thing that they're setting here for sure. I mean, this is and here's a bigger thing. Trump's what he wants is basically what a lot of Americans want. So therefore, like he has said, this is not an attack on him. It's an attack on us. These people don't want what we want, which is basically the right thing, according to me. But I guess to them, no. So it is a fight. That's always the case.
It's not the norm. It's not the norm anymore. Trump has made history. He's not a politician. He didn't belong in that cesspool.
Let me see here. All right, I want to show a little spot of this video. We'll kind of end it here. Hold on one second. Let's check this out for about a minute or two so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Prepare for God and country. For humanity, we fight. Q. Fellow Anon and fellow patriot, 3 days and 3 nights, has analyzed a photo from today of President Trump and the Turkish President Erdogan at the White House. 3 days and 3 nights has analyzed this and came up with 3 clues, 3 Q clues in this photo from Trump and Erdogan. 1, Trump's hands in the 5 of 5 position. 2, Erdogan is wearing the purple tie as a sign of submission. It's the second time in a row he has done this. 3, the Marine flag in the background has yellow trim, which means we are at war. With whom? And now, evidence is emerging that the sons of our 4 top Democrats are on the board of directors of the corrupt Ukraine energy companies. Biden, Pelosi, Kerry, and Romney, and other people. If you've done enough, if you've sacrificed enough, your kids get other things. All right, that was pretty good.
Oh, that was really good.
Your kids get other things.
Yeah, well, I mean, who do they send to war? They always send the quote unquote the poor to war. And, and the rich and the senator's son stays home. I mean, they write songs about that. So that's been nothing new.
They ought to go to the front line.
What do you guys think of this? Pelosi's son, Romney's son, John Kerry's son, Chris Hines, which is his ex-wife or deceased wife,
stepson, but still within the fam.
Yep, the Hines executive, or the heir to. Or his mom was related to the Heinz 57 ketchup, I think the daughter of or something.
The Heinz heiress. Oh yeah, we're talking. Well, it's interesting. Why are all the sons happen to be in petroleum companies or dealing with energy companies? And
I think it was Kerry. Where was he at? So if you look, it's like all the kids match up to where these people were kind of in charge of. And it's like, that is too much of a coincidence to have. So where was Biden in charge of? Obama put him in charge of Ukraine and China. And what did his son Hunter work from? Ukraine and China. And then you go to Pelosi, find out hers is like, you know, I don't know, Belgium. And then it's like
he worked with, he was with an oil company doing work for not only the Saudis, Eastern European countries, and they had an American market that he just so happened to represent, or I believe.
I think my next show is going to be over that, a little more deep depth, the 4 of them, 5 of them, whoever I can find. And I'm going to title it All in the Family. And I'm going to get the Archie Bunker going, you know.
Well, isn't Hunter still attached to China? He's on some kind of board over there. China, he's still attached.
Yeah, the Ukraine one just ran out since it's kind of hot in the news. And he's like, well, I'm not going to let go of China yet, Dad. No, you got to let it go, son. And he's like, it's not even in the news yet.
Yet.
Yet. I like your theory about the show, Mike. That's great.
Archie Bunk. We'll call it.
What are you going to call it?
Hunter Bunker or something. Archie Bunker.
The Archibald
Better run for the bunker.
Sliding Biden.
Sliding Biden. Lunchbox Dirty Joe. Lunchbox Dirty Joe Biden. Touchy feely.
Yeah. Touch feely. Man.
All right, let's we're at a good amount. We're gonna take we'll do our normal. Let me pull up the chats and we'll look at a few, answer a few.
Darren, let's see here. Kitty Girl 79, thumbs up. We got Darren Carson, Hunter C. Ewer, Mary Meyer, Hunter Butner. Oh yeah.
Hey everyone.
Bunker's Junker. Oh yeah.
Hey, does everybody hear about how up the butt Buttigieg, whatever you want to call him, supposedly he's leading the poll in Iowa for the Dems.
He's leading he's all kind. I don't want to know what he does with his friends and his butt jigging and pulling. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Lots of love to all you mods out, man. Really holding it down. It's awesome.
I see that Face is here. When I gave a shout out to all the mods earlier, so welcome at Face. I think you've been here for a minute. John Anon, what's cracking? What's going on, brother?
Kitty Girl's funny. Q said follow the Piglos family. Oh, the Pelosi. Pig Lucy.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
Hit that like button. Somebody said.
Oh yeah.
Woodman has got an interesting story. If you care to share it with the Patriots, it's up to you. You're on front and center, brother.
Oh, about
give them all the details. Just
my trash burning episode you're talking about. Yeah, I learned.
Yes, sir. You guys get a little treat here today. We're going to open with this.
Rituals you do.
He was doing his ritual out by his trash can, and well, you tell him.
Yeah. Sure. I found out I'm not fire retardant.
Your beard isn't. There's a lot of grease and sandwich in there. A lot of sandwich grease. Oh
man,
boy!
the bottom of my hair, my beard my bottom of my beard looked like a Brillo pad all the way across. It was crazy, man. Took me a long time to get it straightened out. I got it to where if I brush it just right, you can't tell. So, yeah, that was a rude awakening. I couldn't believe it, man. Woof. I mean, just like wham. Yeah, I'm not fire retardant. I kind of found it out. So I know my limits there. I know bullets don't bounce off me, and I'm not fire retardant. So I know that much about my life. Oh, Mike got a kick out of that. Of course, my beard's, man, I bet it's about probably 6 inches shorter now. It's fun day.
All right, brother.
So how's everybody doing? Yeah, that's kind of reminds me of myself there.
We got a picture of old Burning Beard. if you're an Indian, your name would be Burning Beard.
Burning Beard.
Yeah, Mike and I were talking the other day about that. I couldn't believe it, man. Burning Beard.
It's hilarious. So yeah, Woodman's out there shoving stuff into his fire, and I guess, you know, it like came up around it and just grabbed him. But we're lucky it didn't throw it all up to his one side of the face. Taking a lot of loss this year on your beard, a couple of feet. Or how much have you lost, you think? 2 feet?
Well, no, probably I imagine a good 8 inches anyway, probably. All but that's okay. I needed to trim it anyhow, you know, just not the way it got trimmed. That's all. I'd rather go a different avenue. You know.
They do a control burn.
Control burn. You do controlled and directional explosives. Do that control burn.
If you need that thing shaved up, just let me know, Woodman. I'll bring the weed whacker over and
I got
bury that bad boy.
It's gonna be more precise than
we'll get it off there. I want to pump a couple of hot ones into it with my AR. Make sure it's dead, man. I want to make sure it's dead. I'm gonna do a 21 gun salute.
Bushman.
Maybe we can weasel it into the old flag retirement coming up in 2020 and just kind of inspect that bad boy and just put it to rest.
Wrap that in American flag and put
properly inspected, sir.
2020, year of our Lord.
2020, the year of our Lord. Bury this bad boy. Put it to rest. It's highly flammable. It's got a lot of grease.
I might have a sandwich in there. I don't know.
A little sandwich in there. Hey, all right, folks.
Hey,
let's do a shout out.
Check us out.
Ooh, fire roasted sweet corn. Ooh.
I never heard of that before. It's just
that's
it's amazing.
Woodman's latest little crack habit there.
It's his new cracky habit.
I laid off the bonbons and I'm going with this fire roasted popcorn.
Well, you guys make me watch all the dumb junk, you know, and you guys will get to watch all the good stuff.
Bring your Woodwhacker 5000.
I know. I had it here before. I had it here, a bunch of popcorn, extra cheesy.
Oh yeah, man!
You got a permit for that? Yeah. Let's hear your best beard jokes on Woodman. You guys throw them up there. We're gonna read them. We'll highlight the best ones, and we'll go from there.
I haven't laughed at it. I'm not long.
I just shaved for you guys. I didn't do it by fire.
I did it by night.
Get crazy.
Oh boy!
Like the Cowboys used to do.
God.
Some sharp scissors would do it.
Oh boy.
How did you get it out, by the way? Did you bat at it? Like,
get it put out,
did you stop?
Oh,
did you
man,
drop? Did you roll?
Put your face in the snow.
I'm glad nobody's around trying to put it out by beating my face up, you know. Whoa, boom, boom, boom.
I got you, Woodman. Yeah. A couple left hooks.
Yeah. Quit moving.
That's right. There you go. Woodman's got.
It's still burning.
Woodman lost the amount of hair lost on his beard is more than I have on my whole head. So
the magnitude of hair, you know.
That's hilarious.
Hey, I'm sorry, I'm a hairy guy. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I put mine about split ends.
Hey, I'll tell you what, it was a nightmare in the military during my training episodes, man. You know, you shave about 3 o'clock in the morning, and then come noontime, you had this big shadow, on your face. They'd make you dry shave, man. I bet it done it 3 or 4 times before they caught on. The guy, one of the black cats walked up and said, "Hey, look, man," took me up to the side. He goes, I apologize. I have never in my
love it,
life
Randy
seen
Robbins.
anybody go here that fast, man.
Randy
Crazy,
Robbins
man.
said Woodman ran inside and shoved his head into the toilet to flush it, so that way it went out.
Well, thanks a lot, Randy.
Yeah. Oh, Woodman was trying to do
self-flushing.
that wood grain thing, where you burn and kind of get the grains to show. Oh, wood grain.
Oh, yeah.
They say wood burns. I concur with that.
Sure
Slam your
does.
face in the toilet and flush it. Nope. Chester Cheetos is awesome. I put mine split ends. They say wood burns. Woodman looks like Cy from Duck Dynasty. Nice.
Oh, yeah. I've been
Can you eat
chatting
dinner
with
after
old
lunch in that
Phil
beard?
Robinson.
You can eat dinner after lunch in that beard. Leftovers.
You know it. You know it, man.
Normal
It's great
people
for
shave it off.
traveling,
Only bad assets.
When you
or
drive-
badasses shave the fire.
When you're driving down the road, you can always pull out a sandwich and eat a little bit of it, put it back in your beard and keep driving,
Oh
Smoked
yeah,
wood.
there's no need, there's no need
Smoked
to,
wood man. Smoked man. Wood ash. Wood ash.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
That's funny. No, it was snowing out. So what did you say? You dunked your head into the snow? Is that what you did? You had a snowbank?
No, I didn't. No.
That's the way I want to believe it
I
to
just
be.
backed up real fast. Yeah.
That's the way it went down in my head.
Yeah.
That sounds.
I wasn't there.
Well, from the story
I wasn't
you told
there,
me,
and I didn't
feel
see you.
Should be.
But from what you've told
I'm
me
gonna
from
believe
your
Mike
own
over
account,
you, Woodman. I was told hearsay is better than direct.
say it again, Woodman. Tell us, how did you put it out?
Yeah, right,
One more
man.
time. Woodman, how did you put it out?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
smacked your own face?
Yeah.
You batted at it?
Yeah.
So
I sure did.
So you did put your head in the sand. That's what I'm hearing. Didn't you hear it, folks? There you go.
So I heard it from a real trusted source. Mike told me that you put your head out in the fire,
Yeah.
your whole face is on fire, and you put it out in the snow.
Yeah, it's
So
like
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to.
hey, Ben. Yeah, Ben, he did it in the snow.
I hear you. It's snow. Okay, yeah, it was snow. All right. Now a very reliable source told me.
Bald. I don't think so. Is
Yeah,
Woodman
really.
bald? Kitty Girl 79 is thinking that you're bald up there with all that other hair, because that's how people do it.
No, he's
bald.
not. He's virile. He's strong, Buckman right there. Got his
I am.
Really
fur.
gross.
I
Somebody put
have
really
hair, man.
gross.
I'm all right. Really gross. Yeah. All
If
right.
Woodman's hair
All
was
right.
red and his beard was red, he'd be Yosemite Sam.
I saw that.
Annie Bullard writes, my oldest son did that too over a barrel of trash. He didn't burn his face, but it turned his eyelashes, mustache, eyebrows into white ashes. His younger brother was pushing off the ashes. Oh, yeah. If you deal with fire more so
It
than the
does
common
happen.
man, you will burn yourself.
Yeah. Oh, well, now from now on, Mr. L's going to be doing all the trash burning. Sorry. That's just how it is, man. I'm not taking another chance. Well, I've already burned it twice in the last year.
Get a stick,
Then I
Woodman.
trimmed
Get a
off-
stick, brother. Walk tall. Walk tall with a stick,
Yeah,
brother.
man. Yeah.
Apologize.
You know it, man. You know it.
Apologize.
That's funny.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I could provide a little bit of fun for everybody today.
Oh, brother, we
Put a
love you.
smile on their
Hey,
face.
man, it's awesome. I need more of a beard in my life. Lets people know that I do things my way.
What's the name of the show today?
Burning beard hour. Not the burning man, the burning beard.
The burning
Yes, sir.
beard hour, all right.
Just like Jim Jordan burned that witness yesterday, Woodman burned his
Boy,
beard.
he did. Yeah.
All right. I think we will shut this one down. I wanted real quick, Ben as well. We're all going to be getting together and getting some stuff done. Me and Woodman, we're going to meet up today. We might do it tomorrow, but it'll probably be maybe even pushed off till next week. Tomorrow's already Friday. We'll see, but we're going to get together and start on some plan. The big thing was to hit this off really good come early 2020, but no, we're going to go ahead and start on it now with some flyers and get things going. So right there below Woodman is the email, PatriotsFest 2020. If you plan on coming, email us.
There. Can't miss it.
You might not have heard nothing if you've already emailed us once. If you can't remember, if you did, do it again. But that way, because I'm going to get Woodman set up, and I'm going to be doing it too, we'll all three have access to this. That way it's covered well. Because if you get in and you see something's been looked at, then we could assume that something's been sent to that person. But what we're wanting to do is a resend back to you. What we're going to resend back to you is going to be a flyer of the whole layout, an aerial
where it
photo,
is, what time,
where, what, when, why,
all the contact info,
numbers for us, contacts for the Legion. If you're worried about, if you're going to be camping, because remember, this is a free event, folks. And we want to be able to meet some of you.
Yep.
Open to the public, free event. Things cost money there. It was rather, I would say, cheap. You can eat and drink for.
Oh, there'll be all kinds of goodies you can buy there at the free festival, and you can all kinds of entertainment that's free.
There's going to be money raising for the local veterans.
The steps
all that
for vets,
stuff.
all kinds of stuff. Oh yeah.
What do they do? What do they call that? The auctions and mini raffles.
They'll have
all
auctions, and if you guys are hungry and don't want to provide your own food, I know the auxiliary, the ladies out there always have a dinner, and the Legion itself always has on the weekends they have dinners. Always you can go there and buy. Sometimes it's all you can eat chicken for a set price. So. You come out, trust you me, it's going to be
we're going to make sure there's good food there for Friday night.
The masses.
This event's already been happening. This is going to be the 9th year, you guys. But this is going to be the first year for the Patriot Fest. Typically, the outside function isn't nothing on a Friday. There's nothing going on a Friday. But we're going to make something happen on Friday. We're planning on having a show. With you guys, and like for the first time ever, a Patriot Hour with a lot of you in the background. We'll do a live little show and possibly have a band. I think we've been working on getting JT Wild to come out for that night. I think he's possibly. So what we need to raise a little money for him. We're gonna do something for him being able to take time out of his busy schedule to come down and perform, hang out. Other than that, meeting a bunch of Patriots, just hanging out, no agendas, hanging out, meeting one another. For the mods, we want to try to raise some money for them to help them, to get them gas cards or whatever we can do.
Get them out here,
anything
whatever,
to help.
Hotels to stay in.
So I do need a mod. One of the mods to get a hold of me on that. We could head hunt something on that. Maybe sell some shirts. We also want to have certain shirts for the mods, and possibly Patriot Hour shirts for everybody when you come,
and lanyards, because
at least for sale as cheap as we can make it.
Stuff going on there, yeah.
But for the mods, we do want to have like some special shirt, maybe like all the shirts that we'll have for sale for will be blue or white, where the mods shirts will be red, and then that day for those 2 days while you're here, mods you'll know them by the shirts, or because not everyone knows each other's faces.
And plus,
100%.
a lot of you mods out there, we can have some really fun stuff for just you guys mobs when it comes to technology during the show. We do that kind of stuff. It's going to be basically a 48-hour show. Yep. And
2-day live stream.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Maybe
bring your family.
Limited interruption. Kid friendly.
Oh yes.
Bring anyone you want. It's open to the public. We want to see tons of you, so you don't have to text or email in and say, "I'm coming. Is it all right if I bring this person and that?" Bring 10 people. Bring 10 Patriots.
It's free.
Anyone. There's going to be a ride if you're able, close enough to trailer in or ride in your motorcycle. You're more than welcome. Other than that, you're allowed to be in this ride with a car. You can register a car. There is like a 50 to 60 mile ride. That's what it was this last year. It changes every year. We'll get those exact details later, but We didn't do that last year. We hung back and just hung out with the people that or don't get involved in the ride. But I think this year, for sure, I'll be getting in. I'll be getting in on the Jeep, unless I somehow miraculously have a motorcycle by then, which I don't see happening, unless one somehow shows up at my doorstep to the P.O. box.
Hey, and if anybody out there knows like Trump Jr. or knows our president and can get information, they're more than welcome to come to the Patriot Fest as well. We're inviting our president and him in the first family. So
also
get it out there.
Yeah, we if anyone offers a special skill that would, we want to get the banners like the ones behind me. We're going to need some of those made. So I need to get in touch. I need people to start emailing
media.
And email the new Patriot Fest. I want everything to do with the Patriot Fest to be in there.
Patriot Fest 2020. I'll give
so,
it here.
Which is again right below Woodman there, patriotsfest2020 @gmail.com. That's again Patriots with an S, Fest 2020 @gmail.com. And just simply let us know you're coming with how many. And we don't have any agendas. Again, it's there's going to be a flag retirement. There's a ride, and there's a band on Saturday afternoon after the ride convenes. This last year it was at like 3 p.m. and then it went to 7 or 8, 9 p.m. the band. So it's a good time. Other than that, there's a DJ all day long, either a DJ or something similar. But Friday night again, we try to plan on having a show, maybe a live. Couple different people stopping by, playing something, and maybe beer garden, plenty of water, foods.
I'm going to be there camping out, by the way.
Camping out. I'll be probably as well.
Bringing my Get Fiddle and camping out and hanging out with the Patriots and
Woodman?
playing bocce and.
What about you? You going to be there?
Good stuff.
Yeah, I'll be riding the Harley.
Ooh, nice.
I'll probably be the commander at that point, people. So yeah, I'm going to be there.
You're looking at him. We got
You're
future
looking
commander.
at the man.
Well, look, they knuckled me for this year. I told them I'm not running for anything. Well, I'm still on the executive board, and I'm still, sergeant at arms. And Wally, the commander, has been really on me about taking over because nobody else is worthy, I guess, of what his opinion is. I don't know. Anyway, if I do, I'm going to be stuck in there for a couple of years, like probably 4 or 5, like he was. I'll say I'll do it 1 year, and then I'll end up doing it for
15,
4 or
yeah.
5. Yeah, man, yeah.
We feel you,
but
brother.
we're growing. We are growing. They had a write up about us in the Elkhart Truth.
I saw that by the way.
Saturday and Sunday.
I read that article.
Yeah, they called me. Yeah, they called me. They screwed up my years of being in the service. They just said 73 and 74. It was 73 to 77, and they forgot the S on my end of my name. So that's all they got wrong, and they really did a good job of covering it. I think the most important thing that I got across was back when I was during Vietnam, anybody that traveled, was in a airport or whatever, people would actually walk up and spit in your face and call you a baby killer and all kinds of evil things. And you couldn't do anything about it because if you did, if you retaliated, then you'd prove that you were the animal that they say you were. So but she put that in the story. So I'm really glad that got out. Maybe people will understand, a little bit more about what people go through.
You guys went
military
through,
people
back
go through.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Society is different now, which I'm really, really happy about. I mean,
Face, don't let Woodman cook. You're not allowed to cook that way, Woodman, or be by the flag, burning where they put the flags in.
Yeah. Burning beard hour. There we go.
The burning beard hour. That is funny.
Man, I'm gonna never live this one down.
All right, we will shut it down, you guys. We had a great show here. It's I know again you guys at watching on the other end of the devices. We haven't done a morning show. We told it in the beginning, we will if we can. We've all gotten really busy. I just had a 2-3 day cycle of being super busy. So I'm back to being freed up again. We're going to be pushing forward on some things. Expect more Woodman, more Ben, more me, live shows. We're actually doing some real things to get back in touch with the people. Emailing. The dates are, we've talked a lot about this. The dates are August. We talked a lot about this just now without saying the dates the whole time. August 14th and 15th, I believe, right? August 14th and 15th and 16th. That's a Sunday morning. Basically, Sunday is a get up and head out, I would say. Like, there's no time. If you want to linger on till 5 o'clock that evening, feel more than welcome. The Legion's not typically open on a Sunday.
Come Monday morning, business hours, that needs to be clear for, they have deliveries, and it's a functioning cantina.
Yeah, the Legion is open the first Sunday of every month. So it's one Sunday a month that it's open. Business is just so slow on Sundays. But it will not be open that day. So basically, if you get up, get your stuff packed up, and head out. So again, there's by contacting us, you're going to get things. We might even, if you need any more detailed help, like you plan on coming, you don't plan on camping, we understand it's not for everybody. It's pretty, what do we call this camping? It's like real camping.
It's roughing it. There's no amenities. There's no electric. There's no water there. We have not
for campsites. I mean, it's
not
just
for campsites.
It's just like acres or some acreage of land.
We got some grass. You want to come lay on it, or get in a tent and get on it, or
now there's a pavilion outside that has two restrooms, female, male restroom. It's got a running water sinks, 3 or 4 toilets in each one. So, I mean, it's pretty big. And then the inside facility, like on Friday night, that's open till, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. The same, it just depends on the crowd. And then the same on Saturday would be open pretty late. So there's running water outside. I think there's even a hose attachment out there somewhere, because we always have hoses.
There's our pavilion. We have electrical and we have water out to the pavilion, but for the campsites, we don't run water to each. There is not really designated sites.
We even have fridges or reefers out there where you put in the kegs, and then on the side of the building we got keg taps off. So I mean, like I said,
because the Legion does stuff all year round there with other, they have all kinds of functions that we have. That's not just our flag retirement and the Patriot Festival.
Yeah, if anyone's bringing kids, there's already always kids here. We got, the Scouts are there every year. And then there's family people that bring kids, but we want to get a number on that, because again, if there's a lot of kids coming, we get extra stuff. There's always bounce houses and the slide. We got the slide ones with the water. I mean, it's really well taken care of for the kids. In the past, we've had the dunk tanks. It'd be great to get Woodman in the dunk tank again, and just give you guys
hurry, get him in the water.
Dunk Woodman.
Yeah,
he's on fire.
Yeah, man.
Add some water to Woodman. He's on fire.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, super excited. Well, it was a good show today, and like we said, all you guys we're really working behind the scenes for the Patriot Fest coming up this year, and we're really hitting it hard. And so I think you guys are going to see our fruits of that here real soon. Yep,
I agree. And we appreciate you guys stopping by today. If you're new, make sure you're subscribed here. I see the counters going up little by little. And there is this looming date. This is the last thing I'll talk about with you guys, is the December 10th. It's when the new rules for YouTube go into effect. Will we survive? People are already asking for the backup. We've known about this coming. This could be it. This could be the dark time of December 10th, setting in rules, things going away. You guys, and we know that unfortunately, channels disappear. People won't really come off YouTube to look for that person. It's just a matter of the
truth and follow it.
Yes, and we've given you enough here. If this was to totally go away, I would feel comfortable with what's happened. I have no regrets. The videos are probably chopped up on other people's channels somehow, some way. I know I've come across my own videos retaken, and I'm glad for that. I've always said share it. That's what it was always about. So there is a category of over 1,200 videos, and mostly everything that's going to be coming back full circle has been said at one point. So But that's not like, we got this other backup here, and I am on BitChute, and I am on Twitter. So there are ways that they'd have to take quite a few things down. But we'll always be back. Too easy. I plan on doing this to the rest of my life. So it's just a matter of you looking. And if you've gotten in touch with us through emails and stuff, I'll do everything I can to take that, the whole history of Patriot Hour and do a reply. And that'll reach, I don't know,
everybody
that's
who's
ever
emailed
me.
ever said, hey.
All right. That's, so those who have engaged that far, so, all right, you guys. Yep. Simone was the very first BitChute subscriber. And I don't think there's many over there. I haven't done much other than get it established and put a few videos up. Again, I've seen my videos over there already with tons of views that other people have put up. So it's great. So it is already there. But anything new, yeah, you have to find the source. Okay, you guys, let's shut this one down. Great show. We went an hour and a half on this Thursday, and we'll see if tomorrow morning it can work out. I don't know if I got much going on, so it might work out. It just depends. I do have one last thing to get taken care of, but I could probably get that done tonight. All right, you guys. Well, gentlemen, Woodman.
Oh, yes.
Keep carrying
Airborne,
on, brothers.
Patriots, airborne.
Never give up anything.
Thank you for having me on, man.
Hey.
God bless you guys.
You guys have a great afternoon, and never give up anything, for it is hard to get back from idiots when you give up stuff for free, like your rights. The alliance is circling the deep state wagons, and there is nowhere left for them to hide. Truth is being revealed, dark to light. Still need convincing that the alliance is crushing the deep state on a daily basis on the regs? Watch Devin Nunes as he slayed the Democrats and their sham impeachment proceedings with his 9-minute speech that should be required viewing of every U.S. citizen. Devin Nunes and Jim Jordan are truly heroes in this movement. Fearless, super intelligent men who take no prisoners. We are fast approaching the release of the 600-page plus Inspector General report. It is said to be as thick as a phone book with very few redactions and will definitely involve criminal referrals. I'm going to leave you here with this. Devin Nunes and Jim Jordan opening testimonies yesterday on the impeachment hearings. Again,
Hearsay can be much better evidence than direct, as we have learned in painful instances, and it's certainly valid in this instance.
Well, gentlemen, yield because none of those exceptions would apply to this testimony.
It's not the time for colloquy.
Hearsay can be much better evidence than direct, as we have learned in painful instances, and it's certainly valid in this instance.
Well, gentlemen.
there are 2 new Q drops featuring the Armor of God Bible quote from Ephesians. Q has always said it will be biblical. There is a new link in drop number 3593 that I couldn't open, and neither could Lisa Mia Crawley. Drop number 3594 has a link to a piece of music from Future World Music called Victory of Life. The music is stirring. Here's an excerpt from the Q drops. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Prepare for God and country, for humanity. We fight. Q. Fellow Anon and fellow Patriot, 3 days and 3 nights has analyzed a photo from today of President Trump and the Turkish President Erdogan at the White House. 3 days and 3 nights has analyzed this and came up with 3 clues, 3 Q clues in this photo from Trump and Erdogan. 1. Trump's hands in the 5 of 5 position. 2. Erdogan is wearing the purple tie as a sign of submission. It's the second time in a row he has done this. 3. The Marine flag in the background has yellow trim, which means we are at war. With whom? And now, evidence is emerging that the sons of our 4 top Democrats are on the board of directors of the corrupt Ukraine energy companies. Biden, Pelosi, Kerry, Ann Romney, and other people. If you've done enough, if you've sacrificed enough, your kids get other things. The alliance is circling the deep state wagons, and there is nowhere left for them to hide. Truth is being revealed, dark to light. Still need convincing that the alliance is crushing the deep state on a daily basis on the regs? Watch Devin Nunes as he slayed the Democrats and their sham impeachment proceedings with his 9-minute speech that should be required viewing of every U.S. citizen. Devin Nunes and Jim Jordan are truly heroes in this movement. Fearless, super intelligent men who take no prisoners. We're fast approaching the release of the 600-page plus Inspector General report. It is said to be as thick as a phone book, with very few redactions, and will definitely involve criminal referrals. I'm going to leave you here with this Devin Nunes and Jim Jordan opening testimonies yesterday on the impeachment hearings. Again, I'm Michael. This is a Patriot Hour. God bless, Godspeed to each and every one of you worldwide. Where we go one, we go all.
Remarks you may wish to make.
Thanks, gentlemen. In a July open hearing of this committee following publication of the Mueller report, the Democrats engaged in a last-ditch effort to convince the American people that
Q-Post 3594 comes to us on the 13th of November 2019 at 5:21 p.m. Finally, be strong in the Lord and his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of the evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, and after you have done everything to stand firm. Then, with the belt plate of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all of this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Prepare for God and country, for humanity. We fight. Q.